The Sinaloa Cartel is feeling the heat. Leaders are in hiding, drug labs are shutting down, and once untouchable operatives are scrambling for cover. A sweeping crackdown by American and Mexican authorities has upended the cartel's grip on fentanyl production, forcing factions to scale back or relocate. For years, the cartel has thrived on fear and violence, fueling the opioid crisis across the border. But in Culiacan, the heart of its empire, the power dynamics are shifting. A series of high-profile arrests and drug seizures has thrown the organisation into uncertainty. Cartel members admit they can't sleep easy, constantly watching over their shoulders. "You can't relax. You can't even sleep because you don't know when they'll catch you," said a high-ranking cartel member, speaking anonymously out of fear to the New York Times. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has intensified operations, deploying thousands of troops to cartel strongholds. Nearly 900 arrests have been made in Sinaloa since October, while Mexico has extradited dozens of cartel figures to the US in what appears to be a deliberate message. The fight against organised crime is escalating. Every day there have been arrests and seizures, said Security Minister Omar Garcia Harfuch. In the last week of February, Mexico extradited over 24 cartel operatives to the US, signalling its commitment to fighting drug trafficking. Inside cartel circles, there is unease. Some operatives are selling off assets. Others are investing in counter-surveillance technology. The fentanyl trade has slowed in certain areas, but experts warn production could easily shift elsewhere. Trump established a deadline, and we are seeing results that should have taken years, said security analyst Jaime Lopez. The cartel is adaptable, and where there is demand, supply will follow. Meanwhile, the streets of Culiacan tell a grim story. Violence remains a daily reality. The cartel's internal power struggle has shattered what was once a fragile stability. The unwritten rule of keeping civilians out of conflicts has crumbled. Businesses close early, parents track their children's movements in real time, and funerals are held in daylight for safety. Schools sit half empty as families continue fleeing. Al Jazeera, in a report on daily life under cartel threats, describes how a school principal begins each morning by checking his phone for signs of gunfire before deciding if classes can proceed. Residents have adapted to a new reality. Musicians playing at intersections for spare change, children instinctively diving for cover at sudden noises. "We're very tired of being among the bullets," said a small business owner who now tracks his teenage son's location in real time for safety. The crackdown has altered perceptions. For some, it offers a glimmer of hope, an overdue reckoning against organised crime. "I never thought Trump had this much power," admitted a beer store owner at a police checkpoint. For others, fear lingers. A grieving mother attending a mass for her slain son-in-law said, "We leave home, but we don't know if we'll return." Decades of cartel control cannot be erased overnight. In Costa Rica, a small town south of the capital, residents live on the shifting front lines. On one side, the Chapos. On the other, the Mayos. A local fearing reprisal pointed to the horizon where cartel battles unfold. "Sometimes people just disappear," he said. Security expert Miguel Calderon told Al Jazeera that fear and frustration could shift public perception of the cartels. "People no longer see them as protectors," he said. Mexico's stance on cartels has shifted dramatically. Under former President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the government took a passive approach, downplaying cartel violence. His ally, Sinaloa Governor Ruben Rocha, followed suit. with his spokesman blaming the US for triggering the crisis by arresting Ismael El Mayo Zambada. That changed after Trump's election victory. With a hardline stance on immigration and drug trafficking, he threatened 25% tariffs unless Mexico acted. President Claudia Sheinbaum, already more aggressive against the cartels, ramped up operations, especially in Sinaloa, the heart of fentanyl production. Security crackdowns have intensified. Authorities in Sinaloa have made sweeping arrests, seized over a ton of fentanyl in December alone, far exceeding the previous year's total, and dismantled 113 synthetic drug labs in February. More than 400 cartel surveillance cameras have also been taken down. Veteran crime journalist Ismael Bojorquez calls it an unprecedented effort. "We have never seen such an overwhelming and daily operation against the cartels," he said. Mexico recently transferred 29 cartel figures to the United States on February 27th, among them Rafael Caro Quintero, one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. Analysts see this as a calculated show of compliance, an attempt to ease diplomatic tensions just days before Trump's tariffs are set to take effect on March 4th. The Mexican Attorney General's office framed the handover as part of a broader effort, stating, "This action is part of the efforts of coordination, cooperation, and bilateral reciprocity within the framework of respect for the sovereignty of both nations." Yet, on the ground, the reality is more complex. The crackdown may disrupt operations, but cartels have always found ways to adapt. The question remains, will this be the beginning of the cartel's downfall, or just another chapter in its evolution?
We have a responsibility to act.
We will continue to do everything we must do.
World War III has never been closer than it is right now.
People have seen that the system has been broken.
We have people on the ground working around the clock.
Wake up. Listen to the international community.
Time has come to change this.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.